Everybody whose camera is switched off, switch on your cameras. Then let's get started. Lovely, great, good to see. Good to see Saksham, Karthik, Nipun, Lakshya, Divyam, Anush, Abhishek. Welcome on board, guys. Quickly now, everybody on the chat, just type in your XAT percentile. All the people traveling, facing tech issues, switch on your cameras quickly, immediately. No tech issues. Wherever is your background, no worries. Okay, great. Nipur 99.86, Dhruv 97.4, Anush 99.4, Abhishek 98.96, Saksham 99.22, Nikita 98.33, Divyam 97.15, Ramya 98.89, Lakshya 98.44, Mayank 94.26. Mayank, the session was for around 97 plus folks. Okay, great. Govind 98.5, Tejaswani 99.9, Siddharth 98.59. Okay, lovely. Great. Good to see all of you guys. Great scores. I must say, all of you would ideally, based on your sectional cutoff, should surely get a call from XLRI, Jamshedpur and Delhi both. Quickly, all of you type in. How many of you guys have applied for BM, HR both? Type in BM, HR. And if you've applied for just BM, write BM, and only HR to only HR. Okay, great. I can see a lot of BM, HR. Govind is only for BM. The others all BM, HR, BM and HR. Okay, lovely. That's great. Good to see so many of you guys with BM and HR both priorities. Okay, Divyam is here for BM, HR and GM program. GM calls have come out today. Divyam, have you shortlisted for GM? Yes, okay, lovely. Okay, nice. Great. So till the time your seniors come in, I will quickly cover up the basic things which were there. Like, for example, I hope you guys have seen this in the previous sessions as well also. But for your quick reference, these are all our Alumni Connect sessions which are happening. Today, we are doing the XAT session. Then tomorrow, we have the SCM HRD call getters. Day after for 4. Monday for IIM Rohtak and Wednesday for IIM Amritsar. The rest of them, once the calls are out, we shall have your sessions lined up as well also. Now, very, very important that you need to remember and check is your XLRI cutoffs. Okay, the cutoffs can vary this year because the number of takers has increased drastically. Like last year, it was 1.35 lakh registered students. This year, it was 1.42 lakh registered. So definitely there's a spike in the number of people taking the exam. So there could be an increase in your overall as well as your sectional cutoffs. Let's keep our fingers crossed and wait for the sectional cutoffs to come out. Probably, if we go on the basis of our timelines, last year, the XLRI XAT scorecards came on 20th of Jan and the XLRI cutoffs had come out on 29th Jan. Approximately, they give calls to 2,600 plus students, right? So this year, ideally, it should come out probably somewhere around, 26th, 27th, या फिर कल भी आ सकती है अगर थोड़ा सा weekend, they don't want to spoil our weekends and want to do it before, so could come tomorrow as well. So we should be eagerly waiting for the cutoffs to come out. Once the cutoffs are released, your interviews will happen between mid-Feb to end of March. Final results will come out in second week of April and your college will start 29th of June. Okay, so that's something which is there. Now, if we look at the cutoffs, last year, cutoffs had increased for all the sections and overall cutoffs had dropped for only female candidates. So clearly we can see that thoda sa more diversity factor was being kept when we look at the BM cutoff, right? Varna aap dekho, 2023 से 2024 में male engineers, the male engineer candidates verbal sectional had increased from 75 to 83 for the male general engineer males. Female engineers was 75 to 80. Non-engineer male, again, 75 to 83. Non-engineer female, 75 to 80. This we are talking about only your verbal cutoffs. Decision-making cutoffs, if you see, 75 was the standard. It was for all the categories. But in 2025, again, it was different for all the candidates. GEM, it was 85. Jeff was 80. Non-engineer male was 86. Non-engineer female was 81. Quants and DI had seen a good small increment of 1 percentile only, which is a good thing. Let's hope this year, again, a lot of students I know have been facing a crunch in the quants and DI section. So let's hope the cutoffs don't drastically increase. It stays around the 85 to 86 percentile range only for GEM candidates. For Jeff, 80 का 81 हुआ था. Non-engineer males, it was same as 85. And for non-engineer females, again, it was the same. Ideally, it should be similar only, unless, yes, cutoffs go higher because of too many more applicants coming on board. Okay, so that's something which you have to keep an eye for. Overall cutoffs for BM had seen an increase in the male category. So 95 to 96 for GEM. Non-engineer males, 95 ka almost 95, not increase. Females mate had dropped from 92 to 91 for engineers, 92 to 90 for non-engineers. HRM category, if you see, again, there was not much change in the verbal section, but other sections may change tha. GEM candidates, verbal stayed the same. DM increased to 85. Quants increased to 80. Overall increased to 95. If you see last year, across the categories, DM cutoffs had increased. So DM was definitely much more doable, much more student friendly. And even this year, if you see, there were situations which you could think and relate to, and probably visualize key practical situations hai, not too realistic and idealistic theory based questions. So DM has become a little bit more student friendly approach, which was there. Again, for non-engineer, female engineers, 90 ka verbal dropped to 85. DM 75 se increased to 78. Quants 65 made 73. And 91 dropped to 90. Non-engineer males, verbal same. DM increased to 85. Quants and DI increased to 75. Overall increased to 93. Non-engineer females, VLR was dropped to 85. DM increased to 78. Quants and DI increased to 68. Overall was the same. Okay, so keeping this in mind, I think we should be similar for our cutoffs. HR के cutoffs, of course, थोड़े से less गए थे for female candidates as compared to the BM cutoffs. Okay, that's with respect to all our cutoffs and sections. Now, quickly, let me check. Let me check with our seniors, then we can go ahead. Meanwhile, if you all have any doubts or questions, you can type in. So I got one of the questions was that GK, how much importance is there? So GK will be considered at the time of your personal interview evaluation only. And you will also this time have your essay in the interviews time, because the interviews have got, remember, essay was eliminated from the XAT section. So your essay is going to come right now in the interview stage. So you will first have the essay, then your interviews coming in. Okay, a little bit about the batch profile. I'm sure this is something which is already available on the dashboards or on the website of XLRI as well also. So you can check that up. What you need to focus on right now is about your interview preparation. So quick check a little bit from all of you guys. What has been your interview preparation? Have you all started preparing for the interviews or not? Okay, not got too many students as yet started for interviews prep, right? No worries. So let's focus on what can be the next thing. I think your senior is still not connected. Kislay got dropped. So there has been a little internet connectivity issues on campus today. Unfortunately, today itself only. But let's check. We will have also one more session with you guys once you finally have your calls out, because that time you will have more clarity कि XLRI की cut-offs meet हो गई है, calls आ चुके हैं. But right now you should start preparing. One is for your essays and the second thing is for your interviews. XLRI interviews are known to be a little stressful interviews. When we say stressful, they will go and deep dive into knowing you as a person end to end. So all your what is your background, what you have done, your work experience, you will be grilled into it. Freshers, be ready for your entire academic perspective to know in and out about your at least 3 to 4 good subjects. Okay? So that is something which you have to keep in mind. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, you can unmute and ask your questions as well. The importance for essay, Karthik, there will be a considerable amount of importance, because even earlier, essay was only considered for XLRI. And now that they have put it into the interview phase, you will have, like how for all the IIMs, we have WAT and then PI. Of course, WAT has lesser weightage as compared to personal interview. So that would be similar case for the essays here as well. Now, in terms of topics, I would suggest, be well versed with what is happening, your current affairs. Last year in XAT essays, we had got 3 options and you had to choose one of them and write. Let's keep our fingers crossed and hope they do the same this time also, that we have 3 topics and you have to choose any one of them. That will make your life much, much easier and interesting, because just in case was a offbeat aage, jingoism and globalization sort of things which you're not aware of, that helps and it saves, to have those situations where we don't know anything. But for what to prepare for essay, Karthik, what I would suggest is start reading your newspapers and start giving yourself the practice of writing on various topics, because the most important is to understand the situation and give your opinion. It is not going to be based on what you write, facts and figures. Your opinion to that, the situation, your take on it is what matters the most, because that is what they are looking forward to. Now, what, let's say, Saksham's opinion is will not be what is Karthik's opinion, will not be what is Dhruv's opinion, right? I want to know what is your individual perspective on that particular scenario. And whatever be the situation, make sure you always take a stance. You don't be like neutral and just everything is common. It should be taking any for or against, or your opinion, your recommendation to a problem scenario, all of them. You can also, since a lot of colleges are moving towards case based, it can also be a situational case scenario that is given to us, right? Like this time, even SPJain from what has moved to case analysis. So in my essay, I could be given a small situation as well, like a managerial problem. What would you do in that kind of a situation? So these are multiple things, multiple situations which can come up. Make sense? Yes. Okay. Okay. Great. And your senior is still telling me getting a blank screen, still trying. So I'm so sorry for that. I think this is one of the situations where you'll say Jamshedpur kyun jana hai, internet itne issues. But it would be, I'm sure, one of the situations. The campus is really nice. I've been there and the faculties are really amazing. What I would also suggest you all, when you're preparing for your interviews, Delhi and Jamshedpur both have similar faculties, right? Read about them. And very, very important, make sure in your dashboard or on the profile portal, whichever you guys have the access to, read up the entire XLRI interview experiences docket. It is very detailed. If you open this up, you will see, right? So this is a compilation of 56 students' experiences, okay? And they are not just superficial, they are absolutely in depth, where the entire discussion, the entire conversations are listed. Like if I read up this random one, I have picked up this fourth one. So when we look at it, you see, it's talking about, okay, there was a panel 1 in the 50s, panel 2 40s, panel 3 50s. Then we talk about what is the P1 saying, what is my answer, what is the other panelist, again, different flow of conversation. So it's like an entire transcript of students' detailed end-to-end interview experience. Some of them were grilling, some of them was like a mild tone. Then the panelist 2 is smiling, asking you questions. So you can get a lot of cross questioning. You can also have scenarios where the two panelists start discussing amongst each other about your performance. So you have to stay calm. These are small ways in which they can distract you. So don't get worked up and stressed on it. Okay. Their objective is essentially to know you as a person, to understand your analytical thinking, your perspectives, your opinions. And very, very important, are you someone who can fit into the XLRI culture where the faculties are amazing, who love to teach? And are you come with that eagerness to learn? I don't want to know it all coming there. I want someone who would want to learn new things, want to make a difference. Look at their website. They talk about, this motto talks about for the greater good. So you should have some things of, I want to give back, and these kind of scenarios, right? So this is something which you have to keep in mind. So please go ahead, log into your dashboard and read all the transcripts. Okay, this entire one student's transcript is approximately 2.5 to 3 pages, right? And the verdict is yes, convert it. Okay, so just ensure कि आप सारे transcripts अच्छे से पढ़ रहे हो. You will get access to all of them on your dashboard or on the profile portal, which will then give you good amount of practice in terms of, if I have a similar profile, what kind of questions can I be asked? What kind of other things I can look at? Okay. Now, since you had asked me about the what preparation, what I would suggest is in the what section, here we have different types of what topics. Some which are business related, politics related, lifestyle based, philosophy based, abstract topics, science based, and case based also. So these are different types of what topics which we can get. You have sample written solutions and you have practice questions with like a what could be the expectation. So that will help you to understand and get a little perspective on how to approach these different types of what topics. Like this is one of the what topics. The solution is given, then another sample with a detailed solution. So multiple what topics with their solutions will help you build your thinking and thought process. Okay. Along with that, don't just keep reading, keep practicing and writing also, because each one of you guys would have probably written essays long back, right? So build that habit of writing for yourself, because definitely XLRI is one place you guys want to be there. Delhi and Jamshedpur, Lakshya, being very honest, I don't think would be at the same league, but they will catch up sooner or later. So aap prepare karo to get in the best of both. You never know what you will convert. Okay, so I think that's pretty much good for your progress right now to start with your prep. Once your calls come out, we will go into more exact questions that you should prepare for. But any doubts, any questions that you all have that you would like to ask, let me know. We are here for the next 5 minutes. All questions done? Definitely, Ash, it is very much possible. So don't worry about that. There are people who've converted at much less percentile and sitting in as well also. So you have to ensure you give good emphasis on your preparation. Okay. Give your best shot in the interviews. That is going to be a make or break. Anush, they do not reveal the exact weightage of all the elements of past ACADS interviews and essays, and essay coming in new this time in the interview process. So, but you should overall look at personal interview to have the maximum weightage. I don't know, Saksham. I don't think they will give that, but let's wait and see. Nipun, you will have to justify why your GK is low. So you'll have to probably showcase to them some other good qualities and skills in yourself, and forget the GK. It's not the deciding factor. It's a small element, not a very major one. Okay, make sure you cover up on the other things. Have an opinion on current affairs. Be ready to be cross-questioned on current affair things. So uski awareness rakho. Okay, current affairs and GK are two different things. Being aware of what is happening around is more important than MCQ based GK questions. Okay, so don't worry about your GK. Wo ho gaya, that's done and dusted. Now just focus on current affairs prep. Okay, now quickly I want y'all, since y'all are done with your questions, a small time to give back for all of you guys. You are all XAT 99 percentilers. What would be your advice to the folks who are going to give XAT next year, XAT 2026? What and how should they prepare? What would help them to get a XAT 99 percentile? Or any advice, any particular videos, or any particular books or mocks that helped you in this entire journey? I would love you all to unmute and say that. Don't type it. The others can hear and listen. Now you all are role models. So anybody who would like to go ahead first? Karthik, Dhruv, anybody who would like to start?
All right, I'll go ahead.
Yes, Dhruv, go ahead.
So for me, as someone mentioned in the chat as well, that DM was the real deal maker. We all have been used to maths, English, and logical reasoning, but DM is something which is slightly, it you need to get it to your veins to kind of intuitively get what's right. So a lot of practice on that, and during the exam, thinking about you being that person and putting yourself in their shoes and taking a call helped.
Okay, lovely. That's interesting. Any other advice, any other tips? Like, did you guys check out those videos of that, like the Sumit sir does or the convener ke saath we had done? Were they helpful? Is Abhishek, you guys can unmute and give advice. I think the others will be listening to us. They will have access to your chat. So I would love you all to share your 2 cents to everybody.
Yeah, yeah. So, am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. So, absolutely, the videos which Sir did with the chat convener were helpful. And regarding the advice, I would say that everyone, I think, who gets up to a good percentile generally messes up with the time management, which I felt was different from my last attempt. So, yeah, time management would also be the key.
Okay. Okay. Lovely. Interesting. Yes. Who's going next? Yes, Karthik, you can share your advice now.
Yes, ma'am. So I'll suggest that if you prepare well for CAT, it will help a lot in XAT, as CAT is time intensive and you have more time in XAT. So you can use that speed in XAT and you'll have more time to think about and solve the questions.
Okay. Interesting. Yes. Saksham, Anush, Nipun, any advice?
What am I audible, ma'am? What I believe is PYQs in the DM and VALR section is a make or break thing. At least 15, 16 years of the last papers, if you do DM, then you're good to go on those things. And if you, on CATKing website also, if you take the course, that every solution is available with explanation. It gets you in the group that you can do things. And DM is a good to go.
Okay. Lovely. That's interesting. Yes. Saksham, Nipun, Lakshya, any inputs?
So,
I
what
feel
advice?
yeah, sure, Lakshya, go ahead.
Go ahead, Juhi. Go ahead. But I can't see you, Juhi. That's not fair. You quickly switch on your camera.
Anisha, I wish I could. My laptop camera is genuinely not working.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. You can speak and then go to Lakshya.
Yeah, so with DM, this is specifically for folks who have work experience. Imagine yourself like you are at your workplace on a regular basis. So you observe what is happening at your workplace and how decisions are being made. So if you start observing that, decision making part will become very easy to begin with. So that is for workplace, and for people in for freshers and everybody, start watching like videos of decision making, like case study based questions. So that will help you a lot.
Lovely. Great. Thank you so much, Juhi. Yes, Laksha.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, so one thing to keep in mind about ZAT as compared to CAT is that the sectionals are really close. So maybe in CAT you take one section to the moon, as Sumit sir regularly says, and some other section is somewhat average, but you still get into a good college or get good calls at least. But in ZAT, you have to maintain it across QADI, DM, and VRC. So that is something that everyone should keep in mind, particularly.
Okay. Lovely. Great. Yes. Who's left? Saksha, Manush, you guys are done?
No, ma'am, I am left.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so the main different thing we face here is decision making section. So a rational approach, and if you are a bit familiar with the legal perspectives of things, like how responsibility is delegated and what to what extent, even after delegation, the responsibility lies on the people in the hierarchy. So that can be considered, and for QA, CAT preparation is quite much enough, and VARC is also like it is similar to CAT, but the time, as the conveners are also said in that session, that we provide ample time so that student have to either work hard only on the questions. They do not have to find themselves in this dilemma between, okay, if I rush my speed or if I focus on accuracy. So that's why it is a good exam in that way.
Okay, lovely. That's really great. So, thank you so much, guys, for your inputs. And everybody else who's been listening, please make sure you guys work hard for your ZAT exam. It's definitely a little notch higher above CAT preparation, especially when it comes to, your decision making skills. So, ensure you study well on the same. Okay. Thank you so much for joining in, and all the best, guys. And let's hope for the cutoffs to come out soon. And we'll do one more session focus on your XLRI interviews preparation. Right. Thank you. All the best. Take care.